Celebrity Infinity, South America, Around the Horn cruise, as the ship will have to enter the infamous Drake Passage to get from the Atlantic to the Pacific coast, visiting Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. First, we had to pack and get past these cats, but then we were ready to go as we flew from Toronto to Newark and finally to Buenos Aires. Our taxi dropped us off at the beautiful Savoy Hotel, which was built in 1910. After settling in, we decided to go for a short walk in the heart of the city, visiting a local cafe where we had a lovely lunch and cup of tea. We also saw some street art, walked a bit more, and returned to our hotel. The next morning, we went birding in Entre Rios province. Great birds, Argentinian beef, great vegetarian lunch, more birds, and then back to our hotel. Embarkation morning, but first a quick cup of coffee, the cemetery, and then it was time to board the ship. We chose Aqua Class 9038, which was on deck 9. Brought some good Argentinian wine on board, to our fairly good-sized room, looked at the details upon embarkation, dressed up our balcony, and then had dinner in blue before we hit the town. After a great night out, back to bed, because the next morning we were up bright and breezy with a private guide and new friends from Germany. We visited La Boca, took public transport to San Telmo, saw great street art, visited the Sunday market, bought a mate, tasted some wine, and then it was sail away with members from Cruise Critic. Bon voyage! Later that evening, Christmas caroling. Jingle bells ring and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing in a bushel of fun. Jingle all hop. Merry Christmas from Montevideo, a great city port where we enjoyed a day of birding with our guide Florencia. Beautiful scenery and great birds. Later that day, we walked the city streets. Although most of the shops were closed, we admired the street art and managed to pull off a bit of shopping. We then got dressed up for our first evening chic night and came back to our room to lovely flowers. Good morning, Punta del Este, where we met up with our guide Terry, who took us out for a fabulous day of birding. And then the tender back to the ship. The next 2 days we spent at sea, enjoying great lectures, including Mickey Live. We also did some wine tours, and Anthony graded them. Little bit ship-faced after that one. And then we did a blending clinic. Oh, more seabirds. And a dusky dolphin seen from my balcony. More birds. And then great strolls on deck 4. After 2 days at sea, we were glad to see Puerto Madryn, where of course we looked for birds and found some. We also visited Punta Loma, where we found a guy and his girls. The amazing scenery of Patagonia was endless. Some long-tailed meadowlarks, more searching, and finding. Special thank you to Augustin, our private guide, and farewell, Puerto Madryn. Another sea day, more strolls, and more birds. The nature diehards got up bright and breezy to view birds, including shearwaters, skuas, albatrosses, and even a penguin. We then arrived at Cape Horn, the Albatross Memorial, the famous lighthouse, and then it was time to celebrate New Year's Eve. The first day of 2018 in Ushuaia, Argentina, where we had hired a private driver shared with our new friends from Germany. We saw magnificent scenery, hiked some trails, and created stories that would be remembered for a lifetime. Back on the ship, we were treated to extraordinary views. We watched from our balcony as we went through Glacier Alley. Punta Arenas, Chile. Our new friends from Germany, who we met on Cruise Critic, again shared a private taxi with us, where we walked up to the mirador that offered spectacular views of the bay. The next 2 days were spent at sea in the Straits of Magellan and the fjords. The weather went a bit south, while we were going north. Foul weather produces birds. This one, the wandering albatross, which has the longest wingspan of any bird on the planet. Later that evening, we were treated to a wonderful dinner in the Tuscan Grill by the hotel director and guest relations manager. Peely's Dolphin Escort to Puerto Montt, Chile, where we met our guide and had another great day of birding Chile. Beautiful birds in the Lake District, Potavera's headquarters, Alerce Forest, the great Alerce tree, a brilliant Chilean hawk, and then back tendering to the ship where penguins bid us farewell. Another sea day, more albatrosses, and more strolls on deck 4. Disembarkation in San Antonio, Chile, where we had one final tour with some Cruise Critic guests, up the coastline to Pablo Neruda's museum, saw some more birds along the coast, and then stopped at a winery for a tasting, and of course, some purchasing. We ended the day in Santiago, and that's where we parted farewell to all our new friends. We stopped at the De Blas's Bed and Breakfast in Santiago, very quaint and fantastic B&B. We spent one more day in Santiago, this time with guides from Albatross Birding. El Yeso Valley was nothing short of spectacular. After a full day of birding, we returned to our bed and breakfast where we collected our luggage and then off to the airport. Although I'm sad this journey has come to its conclusion, I also feel very blessed and very grateful for this opportunity. It was a dream come true and more than I can ever imagine. If you ever have a chance to do a cruise around the Horn, do it. It's amazing. And I hope to do it again. Bon voyage. Thank you for watching.